Reconguista NG continues to be an incredibly fun mess of an anime series. Beautiful animation, badass mecha designs, really impressive space battles, but filled to the brim with just a lot of ridiculous filler moments that really just don't need to be there. Luckily, the two episodes that I'm reviewing today were pretty damned exciting. Now, I didn't review last week's episode because, frankly, I just didn't have the time to do it, so I'm going to combine it with this week's episode. So this is my review of Gundam Reconguista NG, episodes 21 and 22, and we are getting closer to the finale of this series. Whether it's actually going to be a finale or just a halfway point, I don't know, because they're introducing so many new factions and characters in these last couple of episodes. But luckily, episode 21 was just pretty much just full-on action. Pretty much Megafauna crew versus the G-It Corps, and it was awesome. I especially love the fact that Commander Kia, the guy who basically sounds just like Zoro from One Piece, might even be the same voice actor, has this big mobile armor that the Guion can pilot. And it's basically this big microwave oven, which has these other big beam sabers all over it, and it ends up fighting against the G-Self Gundam. But the most impressive thing about this episode, aside from the fact that it does have some amazing battle sequences, which just feel oh so classic Gundam, is that it actually features a major death in this week's episode, which, ironically, for Gundam Reconguista NG, is kind of a rare thing. And that's really funny because this is a Tomino Gundam, so you'd expect it to be just murder, murder, kill, kill, but it's not the case. So what happens is all of this water is rushing out of this space colony, so the Guion in this big, like, weird mobile armor, which is being piloted by Kia, decides to sacrifice himself and plug it up with the big mobile armor, and he ends up drowning and killing himself. And it's probably the saddest part of the entire series, I would say. One of the biggest deaths, and probably more because you feel it from his teammates. It's just really heartbreaking, honestly. Things then shift in a completely different direction where we actually get to meet the actual leader of Venus Globe, this guy by the name of President Lagu, who is apparently some sort of weird new type, mutant type guy. He's like literally almost 200 years old. This is something that's completely new for the series and they just decided to throw it in towards the end. But you'll actually get to learn in episode 22 that he's actually very malnourished and his entire body is actually supported by this like weird robotic exoskeleton because he's completely decrepit and is even wearing a wig, if that's not completely apparent enough. But it's a really weird character that they just decide to introduce out of nowhere, and it's basically just there for Ida to have, like, negotiations with. But episode 21 was just full-on action. It was really good. They really didn't get too much into the story, and there were some confusing moments, but it was a really high-quality episode, and what I really loved about it is that they introduced another new mobile suit, which is known as the G-Lucifer, which looks so awesome. I love the design of this thing. I especially love the thrusters on its back and the design of the actual head of the mobile suit, because not only does it sort of remind me of the Camphor from Gundam 0080, but it kind of reminds me of the overall shape of Gundam Eva Unit 01 from Evangelion. It just sort of has like that same overall design, but it's white and it's purple and it's awesome. One thing that did really shock me though is that when I saw the G-Lucifer for the first time, my first thought was, well, Manny is piloting this thing and she clearly has some sort of skills in terms of piloting mobile suits, and she's trying to get back to the Capital Army and Lewin Lee. She's probably going to bring that back to them, and she does end up bringing them back another mobile suit, but it's not the G-Lucifer. It's this other weird, brand new, massive, almost mobile armor looking thing, which has like these weird three-pronged arms and legs all over its body. It's very strange looking, but episode 21 is really good. It's just a big action fest, so I'm going to give that episode a 4 out of 5. But let's talk about episode 22, and basically this is just more of the big setup for the finale of the show. We get all of our different factions coming together and getting ready to battle, and even the G-Self has like a brand new backpack, which allows it to move a lot quicker through space and everything. And this episode is really just a setup. And honestly, the biggest thing about it is something that I already mentioned, which is Manny is actually bringing that one special mobile suit to Mask, and they actually have a really nice heartfelt reunion. And even Bellry gets to meet his mother again, which is really short-lived and doesn't really go anywhere, and that's because she's just not listening to him at all, and doesn't really seem to care about really what's going on with him, so they just decide to freaking bolt out of there and head back to the Megafauna crew, and things are definitely about to get real with the G Corps, who are trying to get ready to throw down with their Reconguista, the freaking Dorat fleet. All of these different other factions are coming in, and they're definitely setting up the finale of Gundam Reconguista in G. Although this could just be the halfway point, I really don't know. I'm still incredibly confused by this show, and it's the type of one that's going to, like, beg rewatching to have a better understanding of this series. So what's the rundown on this week's episode and last week's episode of Gundam Reconguista in G? They were really good. I definitely enjoyed episode 21 a lot more, mostly because it was just full-on action. It was a lot easier to follow, and it was really well animated. I especially loved the look of the water, especially when G-Self was hanging behind it and punching through it, how you could only see the lights coming off of its body. It looked really cool, and the overall, like, choreography of the fight was just really good. I've already said it's classic Gundam, and that's exactly what it felt like, and it was real high-quality stuff, which I really loved. I also just loved seeing all the other different mobile suits from the G at Core. I think these guys are definitely the coolest villains of the entire series. I especially love the character of Rosenthal, who has this big, weird, spirally pompadour, and he's piloting this mobile suit, which is known as a Zigaki, which is sort of like an homage to the Zigok mobile suit from Mobile Suit Gundam, which was an underwater mobile suit, and it has this big drill arm on its hand, you know, freaking just drill arms on a robot equal win. That's all you need to know. It looks really cool, and it just leads to a lot of really intense battling. Episode 22 is pure setup for the finale of this series. There's still a lot of ridiculous moments, just getting to see the crew of the Megafauna doing their thing, having fun, just being ridiculous, which is just something the series just loves to do. They just go off on these weird little character tangents, which don't really even go anywhere. They just sort of show off the quirks of the actual characters themselves. Still, like I said, this is the type of show that I think you're going to have to rewatch a couple of times if you really want to appreciate it. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. I will say, though, that these last two episodes were really good, and they've got me very excited for the finale. So, episode 21, I gave a 4 out of 5. Episode 22, I am also going to give a 4 out of 5. It did have a little bit of mobile suit action, which is always good, and just getting to see all the different factions coming together is really awesome. I really can't wait to see what they're going to do with the finale of the series. I'm excited, so check it out, guys. Pretty good stuff. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and like the video. And please tell me what you thought about episodes 21 and 22 of Gundam Reconguista in G. Did you have any favorite scenes? Any brand new mobile suits which appeared? Because there are a lot more than just the G-Lucifer. A lot of them have popped up in the last couple episodes. And what do you want to see from the finale of Gundam Reconguista in G? Make sure to subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media, and also check out our brand new podcast show, The Powerful Nerdcast. It's a cool video podcast series, and the newest episode will be in the description box below and at the very end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Super Kami Guru 9000 out.